It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning and we're talking success.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here with you. If you're new to Monday Morning Talking Success, my name's Greg Halliday, and I'm excited to welcome you to the Soul community this morning. And I say that because we have a lot that join us and chat in, and that's how you can get to know them. Just listen to this in a way where you're able to participate. It's a lot more fun. Plus, we do a drawing, and we're going to do a drawing today, by the way, for the new Soul Agile. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to show you the slide really quickly here. Soul Agile is an essential oil roll-on ready to use that is in the Clarify category. Now, this is just offered as a promotional offering, and we'll just see how much you enjoy it here. It's something that we're more than happy to continue with. It's a unique formula that's all about opening and energizing your physical and neuro-emotional pathways to restore flexibility. When you think about it, health is really movement and energy. And when things get in the way of our health, they tend to stop us. They tend to slow movement, stiffen us, reduce flexibility, and almost any kind of health imbalance that you can think of. It has that component to it. And when you can restore movement and flexibility and even get to the point where you feel agile, well, that's sort of our goal, always has been. It's Soul Naturals, and we do that by nourishing both body and mind. But there's a great role for essential oils in that process. Essential oils, when you put them on the soft parts of the skin, it is scientifically documented within seconds, those volatile, beneficial oils are in the bloodstream. And they travel about the body doing their thing, and in this case, restoring flexibility, clearing out things that might block block energy and get in the way. And that's what Soul Agile is all about. It's a really wonderful blend of 7 pure essential oils. And as I said, if you think about these essential oils, well, let me first tell you a little bit about it. I mentioned it's a promo offer. Here's the price. You can see the price right there. It's really reasonably priced. And here's a summary of what I'm talking about this morning. So yeah, if you haven't seen this yet, you weren't at Soul Ignite a week ago or so, then take a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this. Soul Agile. It's about clarity of mind and of body and flexibility of mind and body. So it's about opening up those physical pathways, activating neuro and emotional pathways to restore flexibility or to bring flexibility. So it's actually such a great oil. And I'm looking at a few of you on here. And by the way, hello, everybody. I'm looking at a lot of good mornings. Chat in. Say what you want to say this morning. Greet the other members of the Soul community, because that'll put you in the drawing. And we're going to do a drawing for this morning, this bottle of Soul Agile. I've got it right here. So if you haven't got Soul Agile yet, you can get it this morning. I'll draw your name. So I'm looking here, and by the way, we got some people we got Terry from Lincoln, Nebraska. We got Osvaldo from the Treasure Coast. He's almost always on here. We have Luis Marina from Colombia. So good to see you, Luis, on here. And Eric Patterson here locally from Lehi, Utah. We got Dolores. Good to see you, Dolores. Oh, I want to come back to Dolores. Maria Balderas. And we got Debbie's here. Seashell Pony. She's saying they picked me for the Soul Agile. Oh, yes. Let me just tell you, you're going to love the Soul Agile. We already have stories to share about that. A few of you have chatted in that yours is coming. Yours is on the way, and that's good. But love to see you here. Now, let me ask you, those of you who already have your Agile, chat in what you've seen already. Maybe just chat in how you used it and what did you notice, okay? So I know a few of you had it. Those of you that were out at Soul Ignite, our amazing Soul community event, got a chance to carry out on the first evening a crisp, brand spanking new bottle of Agile, Soul Agile. And I know that we heard things the very next day. So many good things. Yeah, muscle pain. Eric says muscle pain. So Terry Sanders said, okay, Terry's saying, I hope it helps with my muscle leg cramps. Absolutely. Now remember, that's an inside outside thing where nutrition's gonna be play a role in that, Terry, but also absolutely the Soul Agile is going to help you there. And let me see any others on here. I see a lot of Love Agile. Dolores says she's impatiently awaiting her Agile. I don't blame you, Dolores. Let me tell you, when you get it, you're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. So just text me, Dolores, when you get your Agile. Okay, I want to hear. Yeah, so Debbie was saying like the trip home, traveling, and this is the way for me on the airplane. I always get inflammation. That's just what traveling in general, but flying in particularly does for me. And Debbie's saying, hey, the Agile helped with the swelling on the trip home. And her husband, Jerry, he used it for chest congestion. That's a really great use. Yeah, you can put the Agile right there on your chest as well. I've done that. That's something that's part of my life, and it's very manageable with the Soul products, with these wonderful herbs. Valerie used it for her stiff neck when she's traveling. Very effective there. Rosa says, oh, I love the scent. Yeah, there's the whole like stiffness and restoring physical flexibility or reducing pain. And there are wonderful essential oils that are known for that. There are 7 essential oils in the Agile blend. But let's not forget what it does mentally, emotionally. It is refreshing, clarifying, opening. Part of our experience at Soul Ignite was about creating new neural pathways. In fact, Dr. Allison said, the only way we change anything important in life, and I am adding a couple of descriptors into her teaching, but it is in agreement with her principle. The only way we change is by creating new neural pathways. We have to create new pathways, new ones. For the body to do that, it needs to be in a state where it feels safe to do so, and where we can go through the activities or the motions, the processes, maybe is a better way of putting it, that create those pathways. Well, Agile is a friend in that process. It's all about creating those new neural pathways. It was something we put into play at Soul Ignite because that was a weekend of lots of new. In fact, we're going to share some of that this morning for you. And then the rest of it we're going to share tomorrow night on Why Soul Works. So don't miss tomorrow night as well. Back at more at that later. So Soul Agile is such a great tool. Ebony says it's great for people new to essential oils. Ashley Geigel said, put it on my nose because it was stuffy. She put it a little close to her eyes. Yeah, Ashley, that's true. That's good. You don't want to get that too close to your eyes. You'll see that when you get this. These are some really wonderful oils that have strength in opening things up, and you don't want those close to your eyes. Let's see. Jaliva said yesterday, after a lot of physical activity, kept her alert but calm and relaxed. One of the oils in here, Eucalyptus globulus, has this amazing duality of calming but also alertness, this calm alertness. And that's an adaptogenic property. So I love that you said that, Jaliva. So yeah, and Gwen Jenkins says, we saw Gwen at Ignite, and Gwen says, it's a healthy tool to keep in your bag, in the car, on your nightstand. Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that, Gwen. Okay. So it is really loaded with oils. That's what Magdiel Ulpierre says. I've read some of the descriptions. It's really loaded. It is. These are 7 sort of magnificent essential oils, very, very, very beloved and well known. It's sort of a clarifying minty sweet, but not overly sweet. And that's if I'm going to just describe it that way for those of you who might be new to it. Okay, well, so that's about Soul Agile. So we're going to give that away today. So chat in now or at any point in our Monday morning Talking Success, okay? Now let's go in and do some recognition. It's what we love to do most, and we've got success keys that we would like to celebrate this morning because we're early October now. Because of Soul Ignite, we're sort of probably like a week behind in doing this celebration of Soul Prime. And we're going to start with our Primed Up Success Key. Primed Up Success Key. If you're newer, this one is very straightforward. You earn Soul Prime, which is about helping new people get on their soul path. That's what Soul Prime is all about. And when you earn that, then you have earned the Primed Up Success Key. So we're going to honor people who have done that in the month of September, this past month. And then we also have a second success key to do with Prime, those who sort of went the extra mile with that, and we're going to honor them. So our primed up success key, let's start and give a big round of applause to Maria Lopez for being Soul primed up. Anita Carpenter, there's Anita. Of course, Anita's primed up. She is every single month. Eliza Endrick, congratulations, Eliza. Maria Fiaras, congratulations, Maria. We see all your good work. Keep it up. Osbeidi Figueroa is primed up. Angela Bricheski, so good to see you, Angela, at Soul Ignite this couple of weeks ago. Johnny Guerrero is primed up. Congratulations, Johnny. Maria Juana Magaña Mendoza is primed up. And that reminds me of Minnie Cortez, who spoke to us at Ignite. And she goes by Minnie, but she said, my real name is, and then she named like 8 Hispanic names. She said, but you can call me Minnie. That's what I felt when I read Maria Juana's name. So congratulations, Maria. Kristen Bruñas is primed up. Of course she is. And Genoveva Valencia, congratulations, Geno. There's Minnie herself. Congratulations, Minnie. Rebecca Gonzalez, congratulations, Rebecca. Yariel Diaz, we have a lot of people who primed. Remember that each one of these individuals, at a minimum, last month in September, helped 4 new people start their soul journey, begin their experience with Soul's products. Gudelia Rojas, congratulations, Gudelia. Ana Cano, congratulations, Ana. Anavet and Jesus Conde, congratulations. Jose Luis Avina is primed up. Alvaro Medina continues to show the way and help people start their journey in soul. Amy Calderon, congratulations, Amy. Nonatzin Castañeda, congratulations. Eduardo Lopez, my good friend Eduardo, is also primed up, and that is a very common thing for him as well. Lots of people reaching out and helping others start their soul journey. So congrats, all of you. Now, this is double prime. This happens when you're in your first 4 months. I love this success key. In fact, if I were to pick one focus that I would constantly want to reiterate, it would be this one, because this is all about helping a new person who isn't just wanting to use the product for themselves, but they want to share it as well with others. When they do that in their first 4 months to the level of the prime success key that we just finished sharing, when a new person is primed up, they get double prime. That's the concept. It's pretty simple. It's to help them kind of spark that early journey with soul and give them an extra success by doubling their prime bonus. And that's why we call it double prime. We love paying that out because we know what it means for both them and the new people. It means lots of good things coming their way in their soul journey. So we have Mario Moya, who was double prime in the month of September, and we have Jennifer Landires. Now, congratulations to both of you. I would like to throw out a challenge to those of you watching today. Look around you with those you're helping and dial in on somebody who's just starting their journey and make the determination that you're going to help them as a mentor have this experience in the month of October. This is something that you won't regret, and they will love it. It does so much to cement people together and start them out right on their soul nutrition journey. And if they're wanting to share and build a soul business, it starts them out right that way as well. So let's have that as a goal for the coming month. The double prime is so important and really impactful. Okay, now we have Prime Mentor. This success key means that you help somebody who you have personally brought into soul. You help them or themselves earn prime. So now it's not just about me doing it, but you can see with the little symbol on the key of 2 hands sort of clasped there in a pretty strong grip. Prime Mentor is helping somebody earn prime themselves, whether they're new or whether they've been with soul for a long, long time. In this case, it doesn't matter when it is. It's just recognizing that mentoring of helping someone else have that success. And we are going to recognize Lydia Ferrantino in this category as a prime mentor. This is a very common theme. Lydia does this a lot. Eric Patterson also does this a lot. Congrats, Eric, for being a Prime mentor. Yamilka Perez. Congratulations, Yamilka. Maye Flores. So good to see you last week, Maye, at Ignite too. Maye is a Prime mentor. Orlando Nunez, something Orlando does a lot of as well. And Miguel Suarez. So there we have our Prime mentors in the month of September. And now we move to the final recognition in our Soul Prime Success Key family. It's Power Prime. This is the high-level Prime achievement. Power Prime are the top 2 levels of Prime. And what they are, they represent generally a person has done some sort of a campaign or a larger initiative where they've just helped a large group of people in a month. At a minimum, 16 people, 16 have joined directly due to their efforts, the Soul Naturals community, and started their soul journey. And it might be 24, and 24 is the highest level of Power Prime. 16 is the level that changes from Prime to Power Prime in our Success Key recognition. So who do we have in September that was Power Primed? Wow, we have Maria Lopez. That is fantastic, Maria. Maria has been very busy helping lots and lots of people. We have Anita Carpenter, and we did some special recognition at Ignite. Anita has done this time and time again. She has a big heart for Power Prime campaigns and has lots of good team members that she works with to do this. And then we have Lydia Ferrantina, who, again, congratulations, Lydia. It almost doesn't matter how much is going on. Lydia is a super busy person, as most of us are. And yet I see her here time and time again. Lydia, just a shout out to you as well for being Power Prime. This is something that both, I would say, Anita and Lydia have gotten really, really good at because they keep repeating it. So this is an open soul community. We like to share our secrets, right? We are even happier if others can have the same success we have. So reach out sometime. Both Anita and Lydia are super open. You can maybe ask them, tell me, what are some of the things you do to be Power Prime? If you'd like to have that experience, I can tell you it's a good one. It's a lot of work, for sure. It's a lot of work. But all really good things, all really satisfying things in life are a lot of work. This is one of them. So if you want to know the secrets to doing a lot of work and having a lot of joy that goes with it, well, reach out to Anita or Lydia and just ask them. I know they'll be open. All right, everybody. So that's our recognition and our success keys this month. I think we do have one now that I think about it. I think we got one more success key here. I think we're going to do Promo Pro. So we're going to do one other one. This is a newer success key. But the reason I wanted to at least highlight it this morning is because we're going to talk about a brand new product that we launched at Ignite and that we're going to highlight in the general market launch tomorrow night on Why So Works. And that's the new Vibrancy product. And so we did do some special promotions for our brand specialists, trying to give you a little bit of time ahead of the general launch where you can become really familiar with it, comfortable with it, hopefully get your own bottle of Vibrancy. And that's the new product we'll talk about tomorrow night. And so there was a special promo that you could send out to those in your soul community, in your part of the soul community. So we're going to honor the promo pros, because this key is all about when a promotion comes down, any kind of promotion through Soul, I'm doing my part to make sure that my team and others are aware of its availability and can take advantage if they so desire. These are our promo pros. It's a success key that we love, and we're going to give a shout out to them. Alvaro Medina is a promo pro. Amanda Rivera, congrats. Ana Cano, Angela Brzeski, Catarina Cepeda. Oh, it makes me happy to see Catarina there. Genoveva Valencia, Orlando Nunez, Kimberly Bourne, congratulations. Chris DeVilliers, I think we got a big group here. Lydia Ferrantino, Janet Vergara, Maye Flores, all of these promo pros, making sure their team knows about these wonderful promos. Maria Ramirez, Arabet and Jesus Conde, Rachel Bragg, Tammy Peterson, and Valerie Bledsoe. You are our special Success Key Promo Pro award winners today on Monday Morning Talking Success. So congratulations, all of you. Okay, on that note, as I mentioned, we launched our new product, Vibrancy, and if you can see that here, I've got a bottle of it here. It's a 90-count sized bottle, but there are 60 capsules in it because they are the double-aught capsules, meaning each one capsule is like taking 2 standard capsules. Remember that when you get this product. Each one capsule of Vibrancy is like 2 of a standard capsule. And so you have 60 capsules, but it's like the quantity of a 120 capsule bottle that you have of this wonderful new Vibrancy. Now, Vibrancy is going to be launched to the general marketplace tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on Why Soul Works on the Soul Naturals YouTube channel. Don't miss it. For most of you this morning, in fact, probably all of you watching Monday Morning Talking Success are brand specialists. This show tomorrow night is for your invitees. Many of you will already know the information because so many of you came to Soul Ignite, and so many of you have received the introductory materials. And hopefully you've had a chance to look through it and become familiar. But you'll still want to be there, but make sure you come with someone. Bring your new contacts. Let that be a way that they can get to know the Soul community. The purpose of tomorrow night is to bring and send out invitations. Its entire purpose is to expose new people to the wonders of adaptogenic health and of this new product, Vibrancy. And so take advantage. In fact, it's kind of the perfect amount of time. You sort of have like a day and a half. Usually if it's too much in advance, people can so easily get busy and forget. So this is the right time to get out there and get through some of those people that have been on your mind that you feel like need to hear this message, and contact them. Let them know about this. They will not regret being part of that. This is information that can be life-changing and is going to be beneficial for them in their life. So that's tomorrow night. Now, in preparation for that, if you have not already opened your email, there was an email sent out recently that included what I'm going to show you next. It's a brand specialist guide to talking about and understanding the new product, Vibrancy. So let's take a look at that guide for a minute. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through the guide. This is courtesy of Hope Anderson, who is our marketing director. She's done a fantastic job putting this guide together. Notice it says talking about Vibrancy. It's a brand specialist guide to sharing. Vibrancy is first and foremost a dense ocean nutrient product. Why? Why does Soul Naturals have this product? Because nutrition in the ocean, from plants in the ocean, is different than nutrition on land. Yes, there are many similarities, but there also are key differences, both in quantity and in proportion, in the way they are found and combined. And we believe that makes all the difference in nutrition. In other words, just because 2 plants might have calcium in them does not mean they will work the same for us nutritionally. There is a difference. As an example, taking calcium, between calcium lactate, calcium citrate, calcium carbonate. They are all held in a slightly different form, and thus they act differently in the body. This is the point. I use this example when I like to talk about ocean nutrition, because even though you'll find familiar vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and all these important building blocks to nutrition, they are different in ocean plants. And I believe the way that the ocean plants carry them is needed and lacking in our diet so typically in modern lifestyle. That is why Vibrancy is here, because it has abundant, dense ocean nutrition. Now, who can benefit from this? Everyone. This is a product for men and women and really people of all ages. We are going to launch Vibrancy tomorrow night with a specific focus, and I'll come to that in just a second. But it is for everyone. When you look at the ingredients, just briefly, the guidebook, If you scroll through the guidebook, you're going to see these wonderful, wonderful, abundant, dense nutrients from the ocean. Spirulina is right at the start. It is loaded with good, clean proteins and many other wonderful substances for healthy heart, lungs, etc. Then we have our Icelandic kelp blend in Vibrancy. 3 different cold water kelps that are geothermally dried at moderate temps to preserve as much as possible of that nutrition in the state that it naturally occurs. And these are the 3 kelps. You can see them there. They are loaded with fucoidan, fucoxanthin, and these wonderful plant compounds. I know those are crazy words, but we got educated about them from Dr. Allison at Ignite, and we'll mention a word or two about them tomorrow night. We won't so much deep dive into science tomorrow night as try to describe the opportunity for health benefits in Vibrancy for all tomorrow night. And this Icelandic kelp blend is one of my favorite components of Vibrancy. It is loaded with things you're not going to get on land. And so you need this. Then we have astaxanthin, but much of astaxanthin in the market comes from animal sources. Ours is from a red algae. It is Hematococcus pluvialis, the H. pluvialis, and that is featured here in the guide. Dulse, another red from the ocean, red seaweed. Sometime you'll have to ask Vice President of Supply Chain, Blake Christensen, about dulse. His late childhood is a dulse seaweed success story. It made a big difference for him in his energy and alertness. Dulse can reach some people in a way that nothing else can nutritionally. And it was unique to Blake. And that is actually the reason that it was a must-have in this formula. Asian ginseng is our adaptogen in the formula. Panax ginseng has, as you notice this paragraph here, more than 50 unique compounds, unique to it. There are different types of ginsengs around the world, but there are 50 unique ginsenosides, they're called, just the fancy name for nutrients that are unique to this ginseng root that have such wonderful balancing and adaptogenic properties. And that's the role that it plays in this formula. Aside from the fact that it also has a couple of key minerals that we don't find enough of in our diet. I'll leave that for tomorrow night as well. So that's just a little bit of Vibrancy there for those of you who may not have heard it. But that's how the guidebook starts out. Then there are talking points. You can see here the benefits are reviewed very quickly. You talk about hormonal balance and thyroid health. Thyroid health like nothing else can give. Thyroid health from ocean nutrition is unique to the ocean plant compounds. It is something that I believe everyone should give a try and see the benefits. Natural vitality is part of this. Mental clarity is part. A good, strong, healthy heart is part of it. A good, strong immune function. And finally, but not least, healthy skin and joints and vibrant skin and joints. They are all part of Vibrancy. So this is such a great formula because of its unique ocean nutrition. Now, there's a little dive into it from the guidebook, but notice if we keep scrolling down, something important is announced. Here, Hope delineates a special focus for Vibrancy, which is all about peri and menopause. Perimenopause, menopause, women's health in general over a broad range of years in life can be greatly positively affected with this type of nutrition and with the education that will come in this new guidebook. Tomorrow night, Hope will be here with me, and she will go through this guidebook that she's worked directly with Dr. Allison Caldwell Andrews, who is the author and who worked with Chris DeVilliers and Valerie Bledsoe in writing this, I think, really one-of-a-kind book about perimenopause and menopause and hormonal health with a focus on women. That's another big part of Vibrancy. So you can see a little bit of information. You can scroll through this. If you haven't done this, go back to your email and look for this email, okay? Make sure you get this guide because there are links in this guide to this new menopause guidebook. So take a minute and look at that. Notice there's a little bit of a highlight here that Hope gives in your brand specialist guidebook, you got a nice description of what the guide entails. The guide will be a product sold for $19.95, and everyone who buys this new menopause guidebook will get a discount code toward any Soul product worth $15 for a one-time use. So the guide is $19.95. The discount code is $15, and that will always be there with the purchase of the guide so that a person can take the next step. Step 1 is education. Step 2 is action through nutrition and adaptogenic nutrition. And that is what this guide enables, and this new product, which is this wonderful menopause guide and the code that comes with it. So you got a little bit about that. Hope talks in the guide about how you promote it, what the marketplace is like, why it's so important, and why we believe it's underserved. We want to change that at Soul. We want to give more information there so that answers are more easily found by women of all ages, and I'll throw in men because the principles apply to men. But this is good, and this is targeted for the menopause and the perimenopause marketplace for women principally. In addition to this full menopause guide, there is a mini free guide. This mini guide is something that can be used to get the attention of someone you would like to reach. At no cost, they can get a little bit of an insight into this guide, and they are able to very easily and quickly choose to get the full guide after they see the mini guide. So that's another tool here. It's a separate tool, this mini menopause guide. Hope talks about sharing the mini guide. There's a social media campaign, there are helps, and a little bit of about compliance and the way we talk about health so that we can make sure that we're doing this all legally. So that's a little bit about the guide today. I hope that's been informational. It's such a huge part of who we are at Soul is to provide education. I do believe everything starts with education, then action is what brings change in our lives. And that's what we hope to do with this. Now, I'm looking at my time here this morning, and I think we're down to our last few minutes. And so before we draw a name, I'm going to put the drawing bowl here so I don't forget it. Because we're going to give away an Agile, and I don't want to forget that. One last note to you. Don't forget tomorrow night, I'm going to show you this bottle one more time. That's Vibrancy. Okay, that is tomorrow night. You know what? How about we do this? How about we draw for a Vibrancy too? If that sounds good to you, we'll do that. We'll draw for an Agile right now, and we'll draw for a bottle of Vibrancy this morning. So if you haven't chatted in yet and you want to get a bottle of Vibrancy, hurry and chat in, okay? And let me just end now with what I think is the most important part of everything we do at Soul, and that's you all, our Soul community. We at Soul Ignite shared a few I would say principles of power in community and how they make a difference in the world around us and how we hope to make a difference with Soul. This was something I talked about the first night. Many other leaders talked about this in various ways, but it all comes back to the power of a community to make a difference for every individual. It is my hope that no one ever feels alone, that no one ever feels a lack of answers for their pressing problems in life, that they have a place that they can turn to. And Soul can really be that. So let me just share with you in ending tonight a couple of comments this morning, a couple of comments about community. Soul Naturals, first and foremost, is an open community. We like to call it an open community because you don't have to be chosen to be part of Soul. You can choose to be part of Soul. And when you come and you're a part, you are welcome. Everyone who comes, no matter the manner in which they want to participate, whether they want to just learn, whether they want to take action and bring products into their life that are adaptogen based and that can make a difference, whether they want to help others do that. In any and every one of these roles, we want you to know you are valued and you are welcome and you are important to us, and you play a huge role in making this community what we hope it can be for everyone else. At Soul, as this slide says, mentoring is particularly celebrated. Mentoring to us is taking someone by the arm and walking with them in whatever their journey is, whatever they're looking for, just helping and being there. That is mentoring. And we celebrate that at Soul. That's a little bit additional to who we are. Now, we're a wellness community. We're focused on mental and physical wellness. And we have an innovation. I call it a secret that shouldn't be a secret. That secret is that adaptogens make everything better. They amplify results. They help bridge the gap between physical health and mental well-being. Sometimes we are so in love in Western culture with products, both synthetic and otherwise, that try to force the body toward solving a symptom. And often those can cause even worse disconnect between emotional and mental well-being. Adaptogens unify the two. They strengthen both by nourishing both. And that is why all our products are adaptogenic core products combined with other herbs. So we're a wellness community, but not just any wellness community. There is an innovation that Soul has brought to the market, and that is adaptogens. I like to use this analogy. If you are into barbecuing at all, and you've ever tried to light a fire with charcoal briquettes, I had a friend once teach me an analogy about this, about the powers of community and energy in people. And I wanted to share it I shared it at Soul Ignite. I want to leave you with this morning. Just like this group of charcoal briquettes, the multiple briquettes together, they take energy from each other and give energy to each other. And together they create this wonderful, warm orange glow, which is power. In the case of these briquettes, it's heat, and it can cook a wonderful meal if you like barbecuing. And it is something that happens best in a group when these coals are grouped together. If you separate them, a coal can still burn by itself. It has its own innate power, but not nearly what it can do as a group. And so Soul Naturals is like this community of power, like these charcoal briquettes. Now, sometimes people sort of want to go it on their own. There can be reasons for that, or else they feel alone. They're not so plugged in to the community. And when that happens, as I said before, we all have innate energy, but as time passes, that energy can cool, just like this briquette. And this is sort of an interesting analogy. If you ever want to do this, pull a briquette out of your barbecue and lay it to the side for a bit and see how long it takes. It will eventually cool, and it loses some of the strength and power, and I would say energy. But communities are uniquely qualified to bring energy to all because of the variety and because of the camaraderie. And this leads me to one of the main goals of Soul, is to do away with feelings of isolation in terms of people looking for answers for themselves, for their health, in terms of whether it's physical or emotional or social. Part of the reason Soul is designed the way it is to end these feelings of isolation, which in our day are, we believe, a modern day epidemic. And here are just a couple of studies, in case you missed these at Soul Ignite. Just 2 years ago, there was a Gallup study of over 100,000 people taken in more than 140 countries. In that study, so you have about 1 billion or a fifth of the world's, what is it, like a fourth or a fifth of the world's population represented in the countries of this study. In that study, 1/4 of the global population declared themselves as feeling fairly lonely or very lonely. Either fairly lonely or very lonely. This, to me, is really, really concerning. And it is something we can make a difference about at Soul Naturals. In the same year, the U.S. Surgeon General, just looking in the United States, declared loneliness a national epidemic. Loneliness. Tulane University released a report somewhere around that. This is a very recent report. You can find this. You can find this on their website. talking about the severe effects of social isolation on mental health. It has been linked to depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. This, to me, is the coal losing its warmth and power, which I think centers in the mind, and the mind can, when separated or when it feels separated. Sometimes people can feel that even when they're around others. It begins to decline. This is something that doesn't have to be, and we can make a difference about it. And so part of what I shared this at Ignite, and I leave this with you this morning, part of what we want to do, we want to end social isolation. It is not always easy to solve some of the really complex problems of our day, but this one we can solve. We can end isolation for whom? I'm not saying that we can solve it with every person everywhere in the world, but we can solve it with everyone that we're in contact with, everyone that we can reach out to. They can know that they're not alone and there is a community that cares about them and represents some really powerful things for their life, their adaptogenic wellness, their mental and physical and emotional wellness, and a sense of purpose, an opportunity to take action, both for ourselves and in our own health, and also to help others have success in the natural health industry. Notice this study in 2024. So now it's just last year, the American Psychiatric Association, again talking about the US, 30% of adults reported that a week doesn't go by that they don't feel lonely. So at least weekly, they feel loneliness. And 10%, 1 in 10 adults reported here in the United States, they feel lonely every day. At some point of the day, they feel loneliness. That to me is very, very telling. And it is an opportunity for us to make a difference. In that same report, they mentioned social connection. It's the antidote here. It is a critical factor for mental and physical health. They reported in this report, there's a link, a causal link between social connection and later health outcomes. So when there's more social connection, later health outcomes in life are better. When there's less social connection, health outcomes later in life tend to be worse. That is something that I love that we're seeing and having a discussion on it. The relevance, says this same report, the relevance of social isolation to health and mortality is underappreciated by the public. It isn't something we understand or discuss or really look for solutions for enough. It's underappreciated. Now, I will just add to that, not in Soul. Soul is an active, collaborative, giving community. And communities like that, like we have in Soul, they can accomplish amazing things. They accomplish them, we accomplish them by helping each individual person find solutions for their problems, find companionship, connection, social connection. That is what Soul is all about. So at Soul, if you come back to the charcoal briquette analogy, we can take our community power. And when we see that briquette that's a little dim, that's kind of been out too long, trying its best by itself, and it's dimmed in its energy and power, we can surround it with the community of power or connect it and look at the change we can make. We can restore that energy and warmth. That to me is the most important reason that Soul Naturals exists as a company and why we structured Soul as a networked company. One that celebrates human connection, social connection, and mentoring. So, yes, Dr. Hugh Jenkins says, us humans are social people. Yes, we are. Boy, we are. And some of us don't even want to be so much. I'm not talking about having your bit of alone time. That's different than, some people need more and want alone time, but they don't. That's different than loneliness. Alone time, I know I have this community at any time I can always avail myself of. And that is what we want to always be able to offer to people. So thank you for spending some time with me this morning. That's a little snapshot into what we did at Ignite here a couple of weeks ago. There was a lot of training that followed this, but these were the principles The products that I mentioned with you this morning, Soul Agile and Soul Vibrant C, were a big focus at Ignite. So if you weren't able to join us Ignite, you get a little view of where we stand so that we can all stand together in the soul community. We can make this kind of difference. Now, I just want to say this. Those of you on here this morning, that you're joining on a Monday morning and you're chatting in, you're doing that. We see it. You're doing that already. Keep doing it. Help show easy ways to others so that they can join you. Soul should never be stressful. There are times it's a lot of work, but it's good work. It's some of the most fulfilling work, but it shouldn't be stressful because soul is about all these good things and lifting others. So, let's do our drawing, okay? And we'll wrap up today and we'll see you tomorrow night. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Why Soul Works, 6 p.m. Use this time to make social connection. You never know. You never know how that everything can change for someone when they join in, see the community, learn a little bit. They'll learn about this wonderful ocean product, Vibrancy. But more importantly, more than all of that, they'll connect into the soul community. And that's a community that can add a lot of good to their life. So let's do our drawing now, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 tickets out of here. So I've got 2 in my hand. First one is for Soul Agile, and that one goes, oh my goodness, Eric Patterson. Eric Patterson, there you go, my friend. You got you a soul. He has one. He has one because he came to Ignite. Everyone who came to Ignite got one, but here's another one for you. So Eric, you got the Agile, and let's see the other one, Jaliva Carr. And I'm just looking, Julia, that's so fitting. You had the last 2 comments here. She said, yes, I agree. Alone time is different than loneliness. And she said, I love that soul stands together as one community. Yeah, that is our mission, right? We want everyone to feel their intrinsic value at soul. So Vibrancy goes to Jaliva. You got it, Jaliva. Here's your bottle of Vibrancy. I know you will put it to good use because I know you. You're all about helping people. And thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. It was so good to spend some time together. We'll see you tomorrow night on Why Soul Works.